A new Jewish community centre is opening today in London with the aim of uniting the disparate Jewish community. The £50 million JW3 Centre will host thousands of cultural and artistic events, from kosher cooking classes to evenings with Kevin Spacey. Our religious affairs correspondent Robert Pigott is there for us. Robert.
Yes, Maxine. The founders of the JW3 have seen in British Jewry a tendency to be reticent about their identity as Jews, to strive, if anything, to blend in more than anything else. And it's been especially true now that a lot of Jews no longer go to synagogue. So this building here, JW3, is intended to provide, if you like, an alternative complementary source of Jewish identity, the cultural identity of film and literature, music and food, not least. It's also true to say that this will be a meeting place for all Jews to meet. This piazza down here behind us will be turned into an ice rink during the winter, and in a few weeks' time it'll be a real farmyard, a place therefore for Jews of all types to meet and to, if anything, find a common identity despite their differences. Well, with me is the chief executive of JW3, Raymond Simonson. Raymond, the population of Jews, people identifying as Jews, has declined by almost half since the war to now 1/2% of the population. This is partly an answer to that too, isn't it?
Absolutely. What we want to do is give people wider options of how they can celebrate being Jewish, how they can identify being Jewish, and how they can live their Jewish lives. And we think that by putting on year-round events and activities, the very best of Jewish arts, of Jewish culture, history, Jewish traditional textual learning, all under one roof, we can reach a wider group of Jewish people and non-Jewish people who have interests than any other organisation before.
And that, in brief, is because people who lose sight of the synagogue, perhaps only go twice a year, then stop going altogether, also can lose sight of their Jewish culture as well. Absolutely. And this is a replacement for that.
Absolutely. There's often talk in the Jewish community of the 3 times a year Jew, the Jew that might go to synagogue on the 3 holiest days of the year. And I found now there's also another 3 times a year Jew that goes to 3 big cultural events in the year, a book week, a film festival, that kind of thing. What we want for that kind of Jew and for both kinds of Jew is a place they can come to 52 weeks of the year where there'll be something for them, whatever their age, whatever their background and whatever their flavour.
It's also about self-confidence, as I was saying. This is based on an idea in New York, isn't it? Community centre there. Vivian Duffield saw it. She came back, gave £40 million to found this. It's designed to open up Judaism to the wider world.
Absolutely. So what Dame Vivian saw about 10 years ago at the JCC Manhattan is not only every kind of different type of Jew in one building, which you rarely get in the UK, but also large numbers of non-Jews who are engaging with Jewish life and Jewish arts and culture in a way as never before. And we already know from our conversations with the local community and from the people already sending their children to the nursery, there are lots of Jewish families, there are Muslim families, Christian families and completely atheist families, and that's really important for us as well.
I know you want to turn up the volume of Jewish conversation. We've got a klezmer band here standing in the doorway, turning up the volume already. But you want also to move the conversation on, don't you,
Absolutely.
From the history of the Second World War, the things that happened then to the Jewish population, from Israel, from attacks on Jews, prejudice, that sort of thing. You want to talk about other things.
Yeah, so I should just clarify. You know, anti-Semitism, the Holocaust, Israel, they are important topics. We're not negating those, and they will feature here as well. But often they're the only conversation, the only Jewish topic of conversation, both in the Jewish media, but also how Jews are portrayed in non-Jewish life, in museum exhibitions and documentaries. What we want is the entire gamut of thousands of years of Jewish history, of Jewish art, of Jewish culture, of Jewish food, which is a really important part. We have a fantastic modern Jewish restaurant, Zest, here, and we want people to celebrate all that is positive about Jewish life, whether they're Jewish or not Jewish, whether they've never even met a Jew before. Come into this building, read a book, enjoy a film, enjoy a musical performance, and learn something different, and we take it from beyond the pages.
Because those things are going to last longer than religion.
Absolutely.
For many Jews, aren't they? Food, for example, is going to crop up in Jewish homes, even those that don't go to synagogue.
Yeah, and it's the conversations and it's the relationships that people form. A couple of times someone said to me recently, what they've discovered so far being involved here is they found a place to scratch the Jewish itch that they didn't know they had. And I love that, and we want people to find that Jewish itch and come and scratch it here.
Raymond Simonson, thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you.
Well, these are the Jews that Jonathan Miller said weren't necessarily Jewish, but they were Jew-ish. And I think they're the ones that are expected to be attracted to JW3 and rediscover their roots as Jews. Maxine.
Robert, thank you very much.